You ever get the feeling that someone out there loves you so hard, it doesn't look like love anymore? They don't send flowers. They don't write poems. They don't even say your name out loud. But they're out here catching bodies in your name. Not literally, or is it? See, love isn't always soft violins and slow dances. Sometimes it's silent wars fought in the dark. Sometimes it's someone standing 10 toes down while the world tries to bury your reputation. Sometimes it's someone losing sleep, losing friends, losing their own peace, just to make sure nobody plays with your name. Isn't that funny? You walk around thinking nobody cares, nobody sees you. Nobody would defend you if things went left. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, someone is sharpening their loyalty like a blade, cutting off fake smiles, erasing fake friends, destroying narratives, all for you. Love like that? It's dangerous. It doesn't beg. It doesn't announce itself. It protects. It watches. And the scary part, you might never even know who's riding for you like that. So tonight, we're going to peel back the mask. We're going to talk about the kind of love that doesn't trend, doesn't tweet, doesn't perform. The kind of love that moves in silence, but hits like chaos. Because somebody loves you so hard, they're out here catching bodies in your name. And by the end of this speech, you're going to see loyalty differently. Silent loyalty doesn't make announcements. It doesn't post screenshots. It doesn't clap back in comment sections. It moves in the shadows, watching everything, saying nothing, calculating quietly. While loud people perform their support in public, silent loyalty studies the room. It memorizes faces. It notices tone shifts. It catches the slight disrespect in a joke that went too far, and it doesn't forget. The scary thing about silent loyalty is that you won't even know it's there. You'll think you're standing alone. You'll think nobody defended you when your name came up in conversations you weren't invited to. But somewhere behind closed doors, somebody shut it down. Somebody changed the narrative. Somebody looked another person dead in the eye and said, "Watch how you speak about them." No applause, no credit, just action. Silent loyalty is disciplined. It doesn't react emotionally, it responds strategically. It understands that not every battle needs noise. Sometimes the strongest move is letting people expose themselves while it gathers information. It listens more than it talks. It waits. And when the moment comes to step in, it does so with precision, not to show off, not to be praised, but because your name matters to them. This kind of loyalty is rare because it requires strength without validation. Most people want recognition for their sacrifices. They want you to know what they did for you. Silent loyalty doesn't operate like that. It protects you even if you never find out. It absorbs pressure so you don't feel it. It handles small fires before they become wildfires. It cuts off snakes before they slither too close. And here's what makes it powerful. It doesn't need proximity. Silent loyalty can exist at a distance. Someone doesn't have to text you every day to be solid. They don't have to comment on every post to prove they care. Their loyalty shows up when it counts. When your character is questioned. When your absence is discussed. When decisions are being made that could affect you. That's when they lean forward. In a world obsessed with visibility, silent loyalty is invisible strength. It's not glamorous. It's not dramatic. It's steady. It's controlled. It understands that defending you doesn't always mean fighting loudly. Sometimes it means removing you from rooms you didn't even know were dangerous. Sometimes it means sacrificing their own comfort to keep your path clear. And the truth is, silent loyalty is watching you too. Not in a controlling way, but in a protective way. It notices when you're tired. It notices when you're doubting yourself. It may not always say the perfect words, but it adjusts its position to support you. It stands guard in ways you might overlook. It chooses you in private, especially when choosing you isn't popular. That's the difference. Anybody can cheer for you when you're winning. Anybody can repost you when you're trending. But silent loyalty, it's there when your name is being tested. It's there when you're misunderstood. It's there when the room shifts and energy changes. It doesn't panic. It doesn't fold. It stays solid. Because real loyalty doesn't need a spotlight. It needs conviction. And when someone is loyal to you in silence, they're not doing it for image. They're doing it because, in their mind, your name is worth defending, even when you're not around to hear it. Protection without recognition is one of the purest and most overlooked forms of love. It is the kind of protection that works in the background, guarding your peace while expecting nothing in return. There are people who step into your life, not to collect applause, but to become a shield you never asked for. They don't stand in front of cameras and announce their loyalty. They stand between you and harm in ways you may never witness. They watch the environment around you, the people who approach you, the conversations that start when you are not present. And if something feels wrong, they act quietly, without drama, without attention, without demanding appreciation. This type of protection doesn't chase validation. It doesn't require you to know how many times someone defended you when you were not in the room. It operates on the philosophy that love is responsibility, not performance. Some people love by saying it loudly. Others love by making sure danger never reaches you in the first place. They handle problems before they grow big enough for you to notice. They remove negativity from your path, like cleaning invisible dust that could slowly harm your journey. Protection without recognition is often misunderstood because society teaches that love must be visible to be real. People are conditioned to believe that if something is not posted, spoken, or publicly celebrated, it does not exist. But the strongest forms of protection do not depend on social approval. A person who truly wants to keep you safe does not calculate how many people saw their sacrifice. They operate with emotional discipline. They accept that you may never know the battles they stopped before they started. This kind of protector carries a heavy responsibility. They have to stay calm when others provoke situations around your name. They have to stay silent when they want to react emotionally. They have to observe, analyze, and choose timing over impulse. Because protection is not about proving bravery, it is about ensuring survival of your peace, your dignity, and sometimes even your reputation. They understand that one reckless reaction could create a storm you are forced to live inside. And the most powerful part of protection without recognition is that it continues even when you are not watching. It does not turn off when you leave the room. It does not disappear when you are busy. It exists as a constant defensive energy around you. It is someone thinking, if something happens to them, I need to be ready. Not because they want glory, but because your well-being has become a silent priority in their heart. In a world where many people perform loyalty for attention, protection without recognition is revolutionary. It is selfless in a way that feels almost mysterious. The protector understands that love sometimes means carrying pressure alone so the other person can walk lighter. It means absorbing emotional noise so your mind stays clear. It means choosing patience when anger feels justified because protecting you is more important than winning arguments. You might never hear the stories of how someone spoke up for you when you were absent. You might never see the moments where your name was defended against unfair judgment. But that does not make it less real. It only makes it more powerful, because true protection does not depend on acknowledgement. It depends on commitment to keep you safe, even when the world is not watching. Love that fights unseen battles is a strange and powerful form of devotion, because it does not always wear the armor of visibility. It does not always shout. It does not always confront danger with loud declarations, and it does not always demand that the world witness its struggle. Instead, it operates in silence, carrying emotions, responsibility, and determination inside a private war that nobody else can see. This kind of love understands that not every enemy stands in front of you with a face you can recognize. Sometimes the real battles are fought against misunderstandings, hidden negativity, social pressure, jealousy, and the invisible forces that try to break someone's confidence and peace. When someone loves you enough to fight unseen battles, they are willing to stand against situations that may never be officially labeled as fights. It could be correcting false impressions about you when you are not around. It could be stopping harmful conversations before they grow. It could be defending your character in places you will never visit. These battles do not always involve confrontation. Sometimes the strongest move is choosing the right words when your name is mentioned, maintaining dignity while speaking, and making sure truth is not buried under convenience. Unseen battles are exhausting because there is no audience cheering, no recognition waiting, and no guarantee that the effort will ever be known. The fighter has to carry emotional weight alone. They have to stay patient when they want to explode. They have to remain composed when injustice feels personal. Because the motivation behind fighting these battles is not victory over people, but protection of something valuable connected to you. This type of love also requires courage, because fighting unseen battles means accepting that the world may misunderstand your intention. People may think silence means weakness, when in reality it is strategic control. They may not see the internal conflict between reacting and protecting. Someone who loves you in this way constantly chooses preservation over revenge, peace over chaos, and long-term safety over short-term satisfaction. What makes this love truly remarkable is its resilience. Even when the person you are protecting is unaware of the battles being fought, the effort continues. There is no guarantee that you will ever say thank you. There is no promise that you will notice what was done for you behind closed doors. But that does not change the commitment, because the meaning of this love is not built on acknowledgement. It is built on loyalty to your existence and your dignity. In a world where conflict often demands public reactions, unseen battle love is almost revolutionary. It rejects the idea that every defense must be loud to be valid. It understands that sometimes winning a battle means preventing it from happening at all. It is the kind of love that prefers peace over pride, safety over prideful victory, and protection over dramatic confrontation. This love walks quietly beside you, carrying stories you may never hear. It may not speak when others speak about you, but it listens carefully. It watches. It prepares. It stands ready even when you are relaxed and unaware that somewhere, someone is emotionally positioned to defend what you represent in their heart. That is why love that fights unseen battles is one of the purest forms of loyalty that human connection can create. The power of someone defending your name is something that carries emotional and psychological weight far beyond what people usually realize. A name is not just a word used to identify a person. It represents character, reputation, dignity, and the way the world chooses to perceive you. When someone stands up to defend your name, they are defending your identity in the social and emotional space you occupy. They are telling the world that you are not something that can be casually disrespected or reduced to false narratives. This kind of defense is not about winning arguments or proving superiority. It is about protecting the meaning attached to your existence in someone's perspective. When a person chooses to defend your name, they are making a conscious decision to value your worth, even when you are not present to witness it. Many people only defend others when it is convenient or when it benefits their image. But real defense happens when there is nothing to gain except preserving truth and loyalty. Someone defending your name is willing to challenge misunderstanding, ignorance, and unfair judgment. They are ready to speak up when your character is questioned in spaces where you cannot speak for yourself. That courage reflects a deep emotional connection, because defending someone requires standing against social pressure and sometimes risking conflict. Defending your name is also an act of respect. Respect is not only shown through polite behavior, but through protection of dignity. When someone refuses to participate in conversations that degrade you, they are setting emotional boundaries around your value. They are communicating silently that your reputation is not entertainment material for others. This type of respect is powerful because it does not depend on your presence. It operates even when you are far away, when you are unaware, or when you are focused on your own life. The emotional impact of having someone defend your name can be life-changing because it creates a feeling of security. Human beings naturally fear social rejection and false judgment. Knowing that there is someone who will correct misinformation about you provides psychological comfort. It allows you to move forward in life with less fear of invisible criticism. It gives you confidence that you are not completely alone in a world where misunderstanding can spread faster than truth. However, defending someone's name is not always loud or aggressive. Sometimes it is as simple as stopping a negative statement with calm authority. It is refusing to entertain gossip. It is choosing silence when silence protects truth better than arguments. It is maintaining integrity even when others try to provoke emotional reactions. The strength of this defense lies in its control and maturity, rather than its intensity. The power of someone defending your name ultimately reflects the depth of their emotional investment in you. People do not defend casually what they do not care about. When someone risks social comfort to preserve your dignity, it shows that your existence holds significant meaning in their emotional world. That kind of loyalty is rare because it transforms love into action rather than just expression. It turns feeling into responsibility and responsibility into protection. And in a world where reputations are easily damaged by words, having someone who guards your name is one of the most powerful forms of unseen security a person can experience. Dangerous devotion is what happens when love becomes so intense that it is willing to move without hesitation to protect what it values. It is not dangerous in the sense of harm to innocent people, but dangerous in the sense that it does not allow disrespect to settle peacefully. This type of devotion is often misunderstood because it carries an energy that is both protective and uncompromising. When someone loves you in a way that can be described as dangerous devotion, they are not interested in surface-level attachment or temporary emotional comfort. Their loyalty operates at a deeper psychological and emotional level where your safety, dignity, and presence become priorities that they are unwilling to negotiate away. Dangerous devotion does not mean irrational behavior or uncontrolled anger. Instead, it represents a kind of emotional fearlessness combined with calculated protection. A person showing this type of love understands boundaries very clearly. They know when to step forward and when to hold back. But one thing remains constant: they will not tolerate situations that threaten your worth or your peace without at least internally resisting it. Their devotion becomes ruthless only when it comes to defending what they believe belongs to their emotional responsibility toward you. What makes dangerous devotion powerful is its intensity of commitment. It is the kind of loyalty that does not easily change under social pressure or external influence. While many relationships fade when circumstances become difficult, dangerous devotion tends to grow stronger when challenges appear. This is because adversity reinforces the emotional bond that created the devotion in the first place. The person carrying this kind of love does not view protection as a choice, but as a moral obligation tied to their connection with you. Another important aspect of dangerous devotion is its willingness to sacrifice comfort. Someone with this type of loyalty may walk away from conversations, environments, or even relationships if they feel those spaces threaten your well-being. They are willing to become the villain in someone else's story if that is what it takes to keep your name, reputation, or emotional safety intact. This kind of devotion does not chase popularity because its primary focus is preservation rather than social approval. Dangerous devotion also carries emotional control. The person who loves in this way does not act impulsively every time they feel anger or frustration on your behalf. Instead, they measure their reactions because they understand that protecting you also means avoiding unnecessary chaos that could indirectly affect your life. Their ruthlessness is not chaotic aggression, but strategic protection disguised as calm patience. In a world where many forms of affection are conditional, dangerous devotion stands out because it does not easily abandon its protective stance. It keeps standing even when appreciation is absent, even when recognition is missing, and even when the world does not understand the depth of its commitment. It is loyalty sharpened by emotional courage, and it is love that refuses to allow your value to be erased by fear, noise, or misunderstanding.